So I uploaded a video called 5 Pokemon that could have been made fairy type, and it got a considerable amount of views. Thanks if you're someone who watched that video and now you're watching this one. I got some comments recommending I should do some more types, so in this video, I'm going to be doing 5 Pokemon that could be grass type. I chose grass since it's my favorite type. The same rules apply as the previous video. In order for a Pokemon to make it onto the list, they have to have some characteristic that associates them with the grass type. But unlike the fairy type where I limited myself to gens 1 through 5 Pokemon, I'm going to be picking Pokemon from any of the generations, since I highly doubt Pokemon would retcon a Pokemon to be another type unless a new type was introduced. And keep in mind, this list is in no particular order. I'll admit, I kind of had to stretch some of these, but that's not going to stop me from trying. And if you enjoy my content, then please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. With that out the way, let's begin. At number 5 is Regigigas. This one was the hardest to justify, but Regigigas could possibly pass as a grass-type Pokemon due to its connection with nature and the role it played in creating the Regis. In the lore, Regigigas is said to have crafted the legendary golems, Regirock, Regice, and Registeel using the natural elements like clay, ice, and magma. Then Regieleki from lightning and Regidrago from dragon energy. Their types make sense since they're completely comprised of a single element and are golems that serve Regigigas. Regigigas itself may or may not be a golem like the other Regis it created, but the moss growing on its body hints at a connection to nature, perhaps because it's an ancient being that has a deep understanding of it. A normal grass type doesn't fit the theme for the Regis, so if Regigigas had to have its type changed, then I'd say it's a mono grass type. Although I think mono normal type is more befitting for this Pokemon. Coming in at number 4 is the other legendary Pokemon, Xerneas. It definitely makes a great candidate for the grass type for its ability to restore life, as well as granting eternal life and revitalizing ecosystems. Xerneas can bring forth growth, vitality, and restoring those that are at death's door. These are core characteristics associated with grass types. When Xerneas is not active, it turns into a literal tree. That alone is a huge reason why it could be a grass-type Pokemon. Xerneas is the only non-grass type that learns Ingrain. This is a move where the user lays their own roots into the ground to restore the HP. This implies Xerneas has roots, which makes sense if it can become a literal tree. Plus, I find it weird that it's the only monotype in its trio. Fairy grass type Xerneas just makes a lot of sense. For the number 3 spot, I selected Comfey. Comfey likes to attach flowers to itself, and although the flowers are not attached to its body, do you know what it connects the flowers to? The vine on its body. The vine is also nutritious and revitalizes the flowers. Additionally, Comfey's ability Flower Veil and its signature move Floral Healing are based on floral themes, further reinforcing its connections to plants. Interestingly, Comfey only belongs to the Grass Egg group, and every Pokemon that is in this group is a grass type. All 93 of them, except for Comfey. Also, Comfey learns 11 fairy type moves, but 20 grass type moves. Everything points to it being grass type from design, its ability, and moves, yet for some reason, Pokemon looked at Comfey and made the deliberate decision to make it mono fairy type when it could obviously be fairy grass type. And number 2 is Glimmora and its pre-evolution Glimmet. Although Glimmora is a rock poison type, it has several characteristics that could justify it being a grass type. Glimmora appears to be inspired by the flower Passiflora caerulea, a flower with striking layered petals and a star-like structure, similar to Glimmora. Moreover, Glimmora's floral design and rocky characteristics suggest it could be a rock grass type. I think grass poison makes a little more sense and it could easily pass as a grass poison type, but we already have enough of those, so rock and grass sounds more appeasing. It does have a lot of moves that are poison type, and both of its abilities have to do with poison type, but this can easily be justified by Glimmora having an affinity for the poison type as well. If Dhelmise is a grass ghost type that is essentially treated as a steel type, I don't see an issue if Glimmora is a rock grass type that just has correlations to the poison type. Finally, at number 1, we have the Florges line. That's right, another fairy type becoming fairy grass type. It's kind of surprising that Florges and its pre-evolutions don't have the grass type when their whole concept is built around flowers. It literally spends its life tending to flower gardens and drawing power from them. That's pretty much what you'd expect from a grass type. Then there's its ability Flower Veil, which protects grass type allies from their stats being lowered. It's one of the few non-grass types that learns grassy terrain, so everything about it just screams grass type. Plus, Florges has all these different color variations based on flowers, which makes it more tied to the grass type. Even its lower body is just plants from what it seems. Therefore, it makes complete sense if the Florges line was fairy grass type instead. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. Also, feel free to comment below if you agree or disagree. I'm trying to think of what type I should do next, so let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.